Hello. I would like to speak to everyone today about a matter of great importance. Before I continue, I would first like to say that I've been treated well and have been provided with adequate food and clothing. I have not been coerced in any way and make the following statement of my own free will and choice. These words are mine and mine alone. I will not be punished if I refuse to read this statement. I have long known about a target and hunting cartridge which is far superior to the 270 Winchester. Not only does it have less recoil, but it also delivers better knockdown power at all reasonable distances. It is ideally suited for long-range elk and moose hunting and can be used for bear defense as well. The cartridge of which I speak, of course, is the 6.5 Creedmoor. When I first became aware of the Creedmoor, I embraced it enthusiastically. I realized that it defied traditional stereotypes of low recoil cartridges while also redefining them at the same time. But I soon became covetous of its efficiency and bullet selection. Because of this, I chose to release a video which advocated for the use of the 270 Winchester over the 6.5 Creedmoor in certain applications. I now know that I was wrong and have learned greatly from my mistake. I do not ask for your forgiveness in this matter. I only ask for you to remember that the human state of affairs is an imperfect one. In time, I hope to repair the damage that my previous actions have done. Goodbye. Hey everybody, it's Rob with Cherry City Guns and Ammo, and today we are going to finally revisit the 270 Destroys 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, I know there was a lot of 6.5 Creedmoor fans that were not happy about the way the last test went, because we were comparing Hornady Superformance ammo to Hornady American Whitetail. Well, I mean, we're in the middle of a ammo shortage, and that was all I could get my hands on the time. But I searched and scoured every store I could think of, and I finally came up with some comparable ammunition. Now, I know a lot of people say that they're not comparable cartridges. The problem is, people keep comparing them. People keep saying the 6.5 Creedmoor outdoes the 270 Winchester. That's why we're comparing these as a hunting cartridge, because I can't sit idly by and listen to people compare or say that the 6.5 Creedmoor somehow outcompetes the incredibly effective 270 Winchester. So we're going to head out to the range, we're going to do some shooting over the chronograph, then we'll come back here and crunch the numbers, and we'll be right back with you. Hold on. Alright, we're out here at the range out at Four Corners Rod and Gun Club, just outside of Salem, Oregon. And this will be the range portion, and we've got a chronograph set up. You should see it up here in the upper left-hand corner, a video image of the chronograph. And we're just going to see what these run speed-wise. Both guns that we're shooting today, this is a Savage Axis 270. They both have 22-inch barrels. So it's a Savage Axis for the 270, a Thompson Center Compass for the 6.5 Creedmoor. Both running 22-inch barrels, both running Hornady American Whitetail ammunition. 6.5 Creedmoor is 129 grain. The 270 is 130 grain. So same brand ammunition, virtually the same weight of bullet. So we can do a little bit more of an apples-to-apples comparison, even though the 270 has a much larger case. But we're comparing them as a hunting caliber, which is the better hunting caliber. And I think we're going to prove today that even though we're not using Hornady Superformance like the last one, I still think the 270 is going to win in drop, muzzle, retain muzzle energy, all that stuff to prove that it's a better hunting caliber. But I am open-minded. I am willing to let myself be surprised. So let's just find out for real. We're going to do 5 rounds of each, because I can only fit 4 in that magazine. We're going to do 5 rounds of each one across the chronograph and average out the results. And then we'll go back to the reloading area and we will crunch the numbers. So first up, 270 Winchester, Hornady American Whitetail ammunition in 130 grain. These are also shooting the same bullet. It's both shooting the Hornady interlock bullet. 2879. 3,034. 3,005, and then it gave me an error. That's kind of weird. My little shade things popped off. Let's see if it still works. Error number 2. All right, so I have to fix little things on my chronograph, and then we'll come back and finish up shooting. All right, got the chronograph set back up. I've never had those little shade pieces pop off before from muzzle blast. That was kind of interesting. Anyway, let's continue on. $3,010. How will those pop off again? Hopefully it doesn't give us another error. We'll find out. 3,091. I will throw an average up in the corner so you can see what our average is. And like I said, we'll crunch the numbers once we're back to my reloading area. Alright, we're now loaded up with 129 grain Hornady American Whitetail in 6.5 Creedmoor. This is our Thompson Center Compass in 6.5 Creedmoor. I had somebody comment on the last video, wow, you use the 2 cheapest guns that you could possibly use. Yeah, they're inexpensive guns, but they're both 22-inch barrels, and the quality of the gun really has more to do with accuracy and features than it does with velocity. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the velocity along with the weight of the bullet and the BC and everything that goes into how hard it's going to hit and how effective it's going to be as a hunting caliber. We're not out here measuring our ding-dongs and how nice of guns we have. So keep that in mind, folks. We're comparing these as hunting calibers. Ignore that. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh. Find our target here. And here we go. Well, the chronograph says 552 feet per second. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's right. Let's try that again. $553. Again, I don't think that's right. Not really sure what's going on with the chronograph, but I'm gonna... Alright, we are back. I think we've got 4 rounds up in here. Let's get a 5th round in it. Alright. $28.51. $28.27. $28.10. $28.27 again. And $28.02. Alright, so we got all the shooting done. We've got the data from the chronograph. We're not going to head back to the reloading area. We're going to compile all our data and see what we come up with. See you there in a minute. And we are back in the reloading area. All right, so I don't know if you noticed, but when we were shooting the 270, the very first shot came in at 2,879 feet per second, where everything else was in the low to mid 3,000 feet per second, between 3,000 and 3,100 feet per second. I don't know if that was a cartridge that had a very low charge in it or what, but I don't think it's really fair to include it in the average because it was so far out of line with everything else. So I averaged the rest of the shots together, and we got an average of 3,035 feet per second. And we'll go ahead and put the ballistic chart up here for the 270. Now with the 6.5 Creedmoor, we got an average velocity of 2,823 feet per second. And we'll put that right here. Now I will say I was surprised. Once we went to the same ammunition, the 270 wasn't as far ahead of the 6.5 Creedmoor as I initially thought. It still does beat it. I'm sorry guys, it does. That's all there is to it. It beats it. But if you look, we'll go ahead and do a comparison with the 6.5 Creedmoor with 100 yard zero. If you go out to 500 yards, you've got 54.38 inches of drop, and then your energy is 1,009 foot-pounds. We go to the 270 at 500 yards, and you only have 47.33 inches of drop, and you're still retaining 1,118 foot-pounds of energy. And then we'll go out to 1,000. With this, the 6.5 Creedmoor, you've got 373.1 inches of drop while retaining 410 foot-pounds of energy. And with the 270, you're only dropping 338 inches, but you retain 419 foot-pounds of energy. So maybe the 270 doesn't destroy the 6.5 Creedmoor, at least not in this loading, and this is just one sample of factory loadings. We could probably do this test over and over again and get varied results. However, I think as long as we're comparing similar weights between the two calibers, the 270 is pretty much always going to edge it out. And beyond that, although it doesn't destroy it anymore, it still beats it, but beyond that, I like a bigger diameter of entry and exit hole on a game animal that allows it to bleed out faster. Once again, we're comparing these as hunting cartridges, not as paper punchers. So, yeah, okay, I'll retract the statement. 270 doesn't necessarily destroy the 6.5 Creedmoor, but it does still beat it, and I'm still going to stick with it. As much as the 6.5 Creedmoor guys have tried to convince me, they've told me all kinds of crazy myths about it and its crazy capabilities, we even went so far as to teach me their secret handshake. Hold on a second, I don't know who that is. I gotta go check the door. Hello? What?